Hello there and welcome back to another Thunder's Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And what's up guys, and welcome back to another Play with Thunder episode. This should be episode 26. And why do I say it like that? Because it's been a long time since we've done a Play with Thunder episode. I've got the other one pulled up on my desktop right now. And the last one was March 16th, 2013. So, yeah, guys, it has been a long time since we have visited the Enterprise. Since then, and now we have a new Enterprise, and the docks look completely different. This whole world is completely different since way back then. But that's in a different series. You can find that in the Build It Better series if you're new around the channel. The Play with Thunder series is basically where I go in and we board the ships, and sometimes I work on them. That's what I've been doing in the last 3 episodes of the Play with Thunder. And this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to go aboard the Big E, the one on the left, the older version of it, and show you some of the things. Try to pick up where I left off from what I can remember and what I just watched on the other video. And show you some things on that. You can work on yours. You guys probably have yours done. I don't. And then we'll go aboard the new Enterprise that's not even built yet in the real world, and show you an up-close look at that. I just released the main promo video on that just the other day. By the time this goes up, it'll probably be last week. Trying to do future part videos, guys, it gets confusing. But anyways, this is obviously the Big E. The last thing I think that we were talking about was the anchoring system. I'm sure some of you have already seen the anchors in some other videos, but we never went in depth on how to build them. I think these turned out really good, and I used iron blocks, cobblestone stairs, and a piece of cobblestone. What else did I use? I think I used the cobblestone walls. I did. So anyways, on the side of your ship, if you want to put some anchors on it, this is how we're going to do it, or this is how you're going to do it. Grab some gray stained clay, and right here at this area, I did add a couple more blocks right here, like this one block here. I'm going to show you, hopefully we're going to come back out, and we're going to try to round this up a little bit. We're going to try to make this look a little bit more like that one down here. This is a very old design where everything was a lot more square. But anyways, I took out the little corner blocks down here on each of the runs, and then I added one across here on both sides. But anyway, so if you're trying to locate where I've got my anchor at, it's right it's right there. But anyways, cut your hole through wherever you're going to want it, and start with your cobblestone wall piece. And then we have a piece of cobblestone, and then a cobblestone wall, and then a gold block. And then it doesn't matter what's behind these stairs because they're getting covered up anyways, but you can use gold block. And then you're going to have another piece of cobblestone here, and this is going to kind of simulate the opening part at the top where the chain wraps around through the big circle piece. And then obviously you're going to outline it with upside down stairs around all 4 sides, just like that. And then you're going to make another straight piece of 1, 2, 3, 4 right behind here, straight down. And then you're going to make a plus at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then going forward, you're going to go up by 1, and then go back by 1, and then go up by 1 and out by 1. Really simple design, but very effective. It looks a lot beefier versus my iron ones that I have on a lot of my other ships. I think the Early Bird class has one. Yes, it does. So this is kind of the older style anchor right here. That just would not fit or look like it would be big enough for this size of a ship. So that's why I went back and I added some bigger ones, and they turned out really good. So hopefully you guys can add those on yours and maybe change them up a little bit or leave them the way they are. So we're going to go aboard, and we're going to go inside of the chain locker and show you what I've done there, if I can find my way to it. I have not been on this ship in so damn long, it's not even funny. I know we did go over the magazines and, where the bombs were stored. That's where I worked, down in there. I think last time I did not have a roof over this area, but it really didn't matter because There's nothing really new except I got a roof over it. The forward part of the ship on the second floor, I believe we went over that. The forward mess decks and galleys, which is right down here. Through this door and around here. Here it is. And this is the second deck. Forward mess deck area. I don't have any tables or anything like that. Again, time permitted, maybe I will come back, but who knows. Anyways, straight up from that, we're going to go up to the chain locker, which should be, yep, right back here. So I've got some more steps going forward, and we'll go this way first. And then this goes out and catches some side P-ways on the some P-ways on the side, and then this takes you up to the forward nesting area at the front of the flight deck. So anyways, back down here. I'm gonna trip over some shit. This is the very front of the ship right here. That goes right out the front. You can see it. I'll go back down to the chain locker, and this is a little wide. It's just the way that this worked out. And I think we had some sort of a temporary chain system in here last time, and it didn't look real good. The chair system didn't look real good for the bosun mates. I can't remember what their lead officers were called. Ours were like the air boss and stuff like that. But anyways, that's where they sat to oversee any of the mooring lines and the anchoring that went on. So let's see, right here is where your chain will come in, and again, right there is the wall piece out here, and then you're going to have a block, and then you're going to have a wall, block, wall, block, wall, block, all the way down. And again, you can make it as long as you want, but if you're counting blocks and following along, that's how many it is. and then we had the big spindle piece here that the chain wrapped around. And again, I can't get a really good view of this, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 out from each side, and then 3 on your exterior circle piece. And then you're just following it around, alternating between all your blocks are underneath and all your cobblestone walls are on the outside, just like that, and wraps around, and then goes back to wall block into this mechanism here, which goes back down in front of the forward mess decks and underneath, where all the steam pistons and drives and everything else that pulls the chains up and out of the water and drops them. So that's where that goes. So they come up, wrap around, and go back down decks. So if you're going to be putting these in and want them somewhat realistic, you'll dig straight down from here and run the chains into another chain locker area where all the chains are stored, and the steam system that pulls the chains up and down. So anyways, that takes care of that. Also too, up in the this chain area or anchoring area, there's places for mooring lines to go out the side of the ship and tie onto the mooring stations out on your main docks. Hopefully someday Minecraft will incorporate the ropes mod, I think it is. It had been talked about several years ago, and we still do not have any sort of ropes in Minecraft, but someday when we do, this is where mine are going to be anchored. So a couple of them will tie off to that one, and these really simple design. Bring out a couple walls, throw it on some anvils, and cut a hole in and put in some lighting. Now with 1.8 does fix a lot of the lighting issues that I had on the ship. So a lot of the lighting that I have now is over redundant, I guess. There's too much of it, but no big deal. It still looks good. So that is the chain locker, and I believe everything else is pretty much the same. We had a lot of the berthing areas. I'm pretty sure I went over last time. This goes out to the side deck, obviously. Whoops, got stuck in the wall there for a minute. Let's see. Then we got stairs going up. Where do those go? Okay, that's the next. Okay, and this goes over here. This was going to be the officer's galley. That's what this was going to be, and still is. Again, someday when I get back to it. And I believe that's pretty much it. You guys saw everything that I had done last time. I've got the main P-ways up the top. I've got all these done now. I think I was talking about putting these in, or I had started putting these in. And that is your catapult system back through there. And that's probably good enough. You guys want to see the new Enterprise, I'm sure. So let's go on over there and find our way off this one first. And we'll go look at the new one. Alright, so let's fly off this way. Yep, there we go. I got stuck on that little thing too. Oh yeah, I was going to show you how to round this off. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the episode. Let's go look at the new one, because I know you guys are anxiously awaiting to check out the new one up close. The fly-through just does not do it justice, and I did not have everything switched over to the hardened stained clay, and now I do. The new design is Gerald Ford class. Obviously, the new one is in the fleet. Well, actually, it's not delivered to the fleet. It's doing all its quals right now, and it will take probably another year and a half before it's actually delivered to our Navy. Maybe 2 years. It just depends on all the testing that has to be done. So that is the first of the line of the Gerald Ford is CVN-78 USS Gerald Ford. Can't remember what the second one will be, but that'll be 79, and 80 is going to pick up the Enterprise name. So from the start of the U.S. Navy, we've always had an Enterprise in the fleet until right now. So this one will probably be 2025-ish before it hits the fleet. Maybe. It might be sooner. I can't remember exactly what they have stated for the dates on it, but obviously the hull is not even laid down yet. I think they're just now starting on 79, laying that one down. Still got a few lighting issues. Nothing like before. A lot happier with the lighting in 181. You can see this one here has a lot more roundness to it. Hopefully my skills have improved greatly since the first one. I think they have. And this side down here remains pretty much kind of the same, unchanged from the older Nimitz and Enterprise class carriers. They all had the this long breached area out with some cutouts for underway replenishment and stuff like that. It's unchanged on the new Gerald Ford class, just a little more streamlined. There is some exterior pieces that are missing because there's some contradicting images that don't match up with each other as far as what's actually on the ship. I've done the best that I could so far with what pictures are available, but I know there is another piece that sticks out here, just like it does on the 65. Somewhere in here there sticks out a piece, and I think underneath here there's a lot more pieces and catwalks underneath here. But again, the pictures that I do have and the ones that I can find are very dark and kind of way back from the ship and hard to figure out exactly what is here. So this part is not 100% complete nor 100% accurate. It's pretty close. And then same thing with the outer catwalk here. This was probably one of the last things that I had put on the ship before I just said, okay, it's time for promo video. But anyways, your landing lights will probably be somewhere in here. The ball, the meatball, whatever, will either be there or on the other side. I'm not sure where they put it on the new Enterprise. Again, I don't have enough pictures to justify putting that on the ship to make it accurate. Down to 3 elevators now on the newer design. We've got 1 on the port side, 2 on the starboard, and this design is supposed to be sleeker. It sets the island back further. It gives everybody better visibility of the flight deck, all the activities that are going on, and still while maintaining a very good visibility of all the landing aircraft. From what I understand, that is the reasoning behind this type of design. Kind of like a cab forward design in a vehicle. They shift the seats back, the forward A pillars forward, make the glass bigger so you can see the road better. Pretty much kind of the same design with the carrier, but different, if that makes any sense to you. Anyways, 3 elevators. I've got some different elevator designs from the first one because they are different on this anyways. So I'm using cobblestone walls instead of the double slab, and I think that looks a lot better. And when and if the tutorial comes, guys, we'll go over all that. The elevator system itself is a lot different. There's a lower, like a decking plate that the elevator locks into, and I actually think a lot of the hydraulics that run it are set or staged underneath there. Again, from just looking at it, I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure, but the elevators are a lot different. F-35s, these are my new F-35s, so hopefully we'll have a tutorial. I had to scale them down just a little bit, not so much so that they would fit inside the carrier, but so that they would fit up here on the catapults without kind of hitting wings if they were side by side, and I could fit a lot more of them on the ship, which felt a little, I guess, more to scale, more realistic. And then also, so they would fit through the elevator doors. So I think I did a pretty good job on those, and hopefully that tutorial should be out pretty soon, either before I've already got it out, or it'll be shortly after this one. Kind of doing some stockpiling on some videos right now, so I can't tell you exactly when they will be out or if they're already out. Some different ventilation systems down here. MC Edit screwed up the trapdoors like it usually does, because this was built in my flat world, and when I put it in this world, obviously does not like trapdoors or anvils, so that's why those are sticking out like that. You cannot place those like that, and I'll go around and I will fix those eventually. Did the same thing on the back, totally different design on the back of the Gerald Ford class carriers. A lot of different things. I don't even know what a lot of this stuff is. I have not seen one up close. Just the pictures. A lot of piping and racking back in here. I'm assuming some sort of a fold-out staircase for getting off onto smaller boats to take you to shore when they anchor out further. Again, just kind of making a guess there. A lot different than my older style over here, which that had a staircase on the back too. I just didn't put it on mine. I thought it just didn't look right. It looked kind of trashy, or I just never got to really finishing that out. One or the other. And then these 2 big platforms on each side are completely different than the 65. Again, not sure the purpose of these side pads. Probably for Sea Whiz cannons. Something along those lines. And then around this side here, another area of concern, I guess. Not sure what exactly goes in this area. Again, a lot of the pictures that I have are very dark in this area. Some pictures are concept art, so they're showing like rescue boats up in here. I highly doubt that there's 2 rescue boats that sit up inside this cutout. The other picture that I had, I could see a lot of different catwalks and areas to get up to the main flight deck. So that is what I went with, and that is kind of what I was going for here. Just some different catwalk designs to get up to the back here, to get inside the ship. Same thing here. And of course, for mooring too, you got to have places for your mooring lines to tie off. So that it would make sense to have a mooring station back here. And then also, your conrep or undersea replenishment, places to pass the lines through into the hangar bay to bring on food and stuff like that while they're out to sea. So a couple holes there for that. And then let's see what else. This little thing here, again, it looked like some sort of I don't really know. A pass-through, had some windows, and I'm sure there's some doors in here and some other things that pertain to flight ops or things around the island. So that's what that is. Some more catwalks back up to the main tower, and this one we're going to go inside the tower because I did actually put some sort of an interior in this one, which is pretty fucking cool because I haven't even got to the interior on the Big E over there, the original one. So we're gonna walk through this. I've got some stairs that obviously lead down through the ship and into the hangar bay. So I've got them roughed out. I think this goes down to the lower second deck. Yeah, this is where the second deck will be, where I've got all the mess deck and everything that I just showed you in the beginning on the other one, and then this one here goes out to the hangar bay. So I've got that laid out already real nice and neat, and then we're going to work our way up through the island here, and I'll show you some of the other stuff that I have put that I have put in. My voice is a little hoarse, guys, sorry about that. Nothing on this floor. Pretty sure I put an interior in this. Kind of. Anyways, I've got everything laid out for where it's going to go. This here, another walkout to the outside, around like that, and then back in, and then some lookout stations for the air boss and all the control driving of the ship, the bridge, all that's up here on this level. That way they can walk out here and kind of see things too. And another seating station here. And stairs are over here. And the next level is laid out pretty much like the one underneath it, except this is full visibility, wrap around the ship, where they receive the helicopters coming in and call down to the air boss and all that good stuff and let them know we have visual on whatever coming in, and you can walk around that. Again, guys, it's been like 20 something odd years since I've been in the Navy. I can't remember all the details of all the different stations now, but really nice visibility in this island. Really happy the way this turned out. For as small as it looks, there's actually a lot of room that I got out of this one. Walk out here, and that is the island. So I think that turned out, like I said, really, really good. Got a lot of things in there. I mean, you look at the superstructure over here; it's absolutely fucking massive. And then this one here is about half the size, and it still feels a lot roomier. And there's my airfield over there. So if you haven't been checking out my airfield videos, check those out, and you can get a real good look at that. Now we'll go down into the hangar bay. There's some important details that I want to point out in here. Excuse me. Again, made the plane small so that we could get lots of them inside, and I don't have my ceiling in or my lighting. I'm split it into two hangar bays. This will be the main door here, and it will open probably going that way or fold that way, because some of the new systems on the Gerald Ford class carriers make it a lot more efficient, and less people are needed to run a lot of the systems. And one of them is the weaponing system, or the armament system, or the ordnance division. And again, that's what pertained to me when I was on the ship. So I kind of hate that I don't actually get to go see this in action, how this works. But there are still elevators on the ships, but they're a lot more slimlined. They're more computer controlled. It takes a lot of the moving the bombs around the different decks to get them to the hangar bay, to get them to the flight deck and things like that. They're all streamlined to the outside of the ship, and like I said, they're all computerized and everything else. on the 65, Jim bouncing back and forth, we did a lot of pushing the bombs around on carts through the mess decks and down the P-ways and stuff like that to get it to the next elevator, to get it up to the hangar bay, and then push it over to another elevator, which went, up to the flight deck, and it was a mess. So on the newer Gerald 4 class, there are, from what I can tell, 3 or 4 of them that are straight through the hangar bay and all the way straight to the flight deck in one shot. So that's what I was going for here. I have them stopping right there for right now, just because obviously I don't have any more floors done yet. And then also too, it's right here at the exterior part of the ship, whereas if I cut through any more, I'm going to have water. So on mine, this will be the main deck for transfer, and we'll probably put another elevator on the back side of this going down into the lower magazines, but this will be the main transfer deck for the bomb system, transfer system, and elevators. So I think that turned out really, really good. I'm really happy with this design. This one here, I had room. I can take this one all the way down. I don't know why I can take that one all the way down. I didn't finish it, or I think this one's pushed out further. And again, we'll go up on the flight deck and we'll check that out here in just a second. And this is obviously as far forward as I got. So I've got a wall up here cutting off the front part of the ship, and just a lot more room with the smaller birds. Really happy with the F-35s. So anyways, here are the deck mounted elevator systems. So they push all the way through, so the lower magazines can get the bomb call out for each bird. They can get the package ready, and then start sending them up the elevator, whether they're going to be loading them in the hangar bay, or you've got some that did some touchdowns. They pulled over here, reload with a different armament system, and they can load it right here instead of taking the bird all the way back down into the hangar bay and loading it up and then bringing it back up here to fire it off with a different weaponing system on it. So again, that's what I'm understanding how the new system will work. Like I said, a lot better streamlined. So this one here will be right next to the front 2 catapults. Again, for a last minute change out of ordnance. Got a little bit tight here to my blast shield, so I may move the blast shield up a little bit. Nitpicking, that's all it is. And then there's a couple more here in the middle for loading up some birds on this side station now, where pushing the island back gives a lot more room for doing a lot of ordnance change out right here on the main deck. And then I come up with some ordnance carrying machines, a little tractor and a little wagon with a couple bombs on it. Here's another a single wagon with a bomb, and then there's the tractor by itself. You can figure out how to do those. Those are really, really easy. I don't think I need to make a tutorial on those. But those actually turned out pretty cool. I was just messing around with those one evening. I got tired of working on the ship and wanted some ordnance wagons, ordnance vehicles. So that's what I came up with on those. And then spent a lot more time on the paint markings on this ship, probably twice as long as I did on the original Big E over there. This one was a lot more complicated to get this line to go at. It's a different angle than that one over there. It doesn't look like it, but it's a little bit different angle. It's more straighter with the ship. Again, another design of the new class carriers. I don't think they're quite as wide this way, and the main deck is a lot straighter versus on the older ones. They're more at an angle, if that makes any sense. Anyways, so my lines took a long time to figure out the spacing on those. So anyways, and then your catapult system, your front 2, same thing here. They're a little more angled coming this way instead of a straight shot like they are off of the older design. So that's, and there's the little E. And that's everything that I can think of to try to go over with the new Enterprise versus the old Enterprise. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you stick around just for a few minutes, we'll talk about how to straighten the whole design up on your old carrier. For those that don't really care or are bored, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it, and hopefully we can get another Play with Thunder series back out before another year and a half. But for those that are sticking around, we're going to just take a look here at the sides of the ship, the way that we did them before. The old way of building ships, I would build it in big block sections, obviously, and then move them in and get this to, to basically to get your rough shape in. I had seen other ships that people had built back then with a lot of the different cuts and the stuff like the new carrier over here has, but just did not have the skill level of pulling that off at the time. So a lot of things back in the day had a very triangular shape. Back in the day of my building, had a very triangular shape and a very square shape. So if you have not fixed it, the easiest thing to do is to add more blocks. So you would start somewhere like back in here, and what you're going to do to one side, obviously you would do to the other side. It's just that the other side is slightly different because of that big monstrosity thing that sticks out. But anyways, you're just going to start pulling blocks out from this corner, and I don't have my reach, guys, so I'm like right in, and I know this is probably annoying as hell. Because what you're going to do is you're just going to start pulling these lines out, and it doesn't matter how many you do, unless you're doing it exactly the same on the other side, and you can count that out later. But just do like one section at a time, and basically what you're doing is you're trying to get this to round off. So we're going to eat some out here, and then we're going to go up a couple, and then go back a couple more like this, and you're going to start getting this to round off, something along them lines. And you just don't want, the biggest thing is you don't want these big pockets of squareness. So you're just filling that up at very random intervals, just like that. So this will give you a lot better looking shape than something like this, and with a lot of work and a lot of time. And I'm not going to go over in this video because I'm not going to change the ship all over anyway. It's going to be just way too time consuming. But if you were wanting to do that, or if you're into shipbuilding and your ships are turning out very square like this, that is what you're going to that is a technique that a lot of shipbuilders use to get the pieces to flow a lot better and to flow a lot smoother. Again, I'm not going to do that to mine, just because I I don't have the time to go back and do all that. Maybe someday I will. It would look cool, but with these big panels on here, the original design it's kind of lost now, because this whole bottom section would need to be pushed in a little bit more, kind of like this, and then V'd back out to give it a more rounder shape, coming up, a more whole design instead of a school bus design. So it'd be really, really hard to get this one to look really, really good like this one here. The best chance that you could have is to just get these kind of rounded off a little bit, add some back here, and make this kind of round up underneath here, and then same thing with these pieces, just kind of make them look like S's, and then throw in some blocks just like I did here, and that will at least minimize the very square look of your ships or the Enterprise, if that's what you're trying to fix. Now the little E, it'd be the same thing on that one. You can see the square design on that. So like right in here, you can just round this off a little bit, add some more blocks up in here, and just keep throwing blocks until it looks round. And that's that's the easiest way to explain it. And then just copy that on the other side. Now the new Enterprise is very, very sharp looking here in the front. That's why this has a very triangular shape as far as above this split and the bulbous nose section. It does go very triangular. Again, futuristic design, maybe there might be an actual reasoning behind it, but the whole does have a very nice shape to it down here. And then the triangular piece just cuts into it, so that's why that one looks that way. And I think it turned out really, really great, awesome, spectacular. I'm very, very proud of this one. Up to this point, I was thinking probably my Bismarck was probably my best build. Now it's tossed up between that and this one's not even finished yet. So anyways, that is it for a nice long awesome Play with Thunder episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was really nice getting back in here and walking through these ships. I hope it wasn't too boring or too drawn out. I enjoyed it. I had a great time, and hopefully I can get another Play with episode up. Another 6 months or whatever. We can come back and see what's been done to the ships, final designs, things like that. And that's it, guys. Like always, I appreciate you watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.